recent disturbing development in the media landscape, culminating in a drop in Ghana's ranking on the World Press Freedom Index, have revived calls for better protection for practitioners. Apart from the killing of Tiger IPI staff Hussein Swale, JoyNews' Manasseh Azuri received death threats in March this year, whilst journalists of the New Times Corporation were physically assaulted by some police officers. The incidents, according to media activists, require the media owners as well as state agencies ensure journalists are safe on the job. Patricia Roxon Hammond reports from a forum organized by the Ghana Journalists Association and the Media Foundation for West Africa.
Over the years, Ghana has maintained an enviable reputation when it comes to press freedom, but several violations of same exist. In fact, Ghana was dropped 4 places from an initial 23rd to 27th in the recent World Press Freedom, with the killing of investigative journalist Ahmed Swale, as well as several other attacks and threats on journalists. Board member of Media Foundation for West Africa, Professor Kwame Kakari, is advocating a media war against death threats.
In this dark atmosphere of press freedom recession, it is important for us to also reflect on certain ugly developments that may exacerbate threats to journalists, press freedom, and citizens' liberties generally. We must not give in to forces who would silence the media in order that they may perpetuate criminality and the destruction of our hard-won freedoms.
More often than not, journalists are expected to go the extra mile to get stories. Ghana Journalists Association's president, Afel Moni, wants journalists to prioritize their safety instead.
The number of media attacks has climbed vertiginously in recent times, headlined by the assassination in the most tragic circumstances of Ahmed Swale of Tiger Eye fame. Impunity is largely to blame for all this. Journalists must also internalize and reflect basic guidelines on safety. Your safety should come first before the news. Also listen to your conscience and avoid areas which will imperil your lives or endanger your safety.
JoyNews reporter Latif Idris was brutalized by police at the police headquarters, a place meant to be a safe haven whilst he was covering a protest there. More than a year after that attack, he lives with a migraine and police has failed to identify the officers who attacked him. At the forum today, Director General of Public Affairs at Ghana Police Service, ACP David Oklu, said journalists should be well identified during such protests to avoid being attacked.
How do I clearly identify who a journalist is and who is not a journalist? Because these days, this is not the only signature that a journalist has. So everybody has a mobile phone. Everybody has an Android phone. Everybody has even a camera. How do I distinguish a journalist from a protester who has become violent? Key. So identification of the journalist is key. And in this protocol, it is clearly stated that if you are covering a public order or disorder event, you must identify the commander. And for this event, there is always a media liaison person. And there is a pre-briefing, except that the incident comes up spontaneously.
For her part, Professor Audrey Gajepo, Dean of School of Information and Communication Studies at the University of Ghana, believes piling pressure on media owners to take the safety of journalists more seriously is the way to go.
Are there flag jackets that have press written on in any newsroom here? So that when you go into a conflict zone or on a demonstration, they can identify you as such. We see it on TV all the time with the international journalists. Do our newsrooms have those? Do we say in our newsrooms that as a journalist, anytime you're going to an assignment, wear a name tag with our thing on? So what are the newsroom protocols and policies that relate to safety of journalists? Are there any helmets? Are there any bulletproof vests? I mean, how are our newsrooms protecting journalists? And we need to do that.
Journalists are exposed to different levels of danger on a daily basis, but the stakeholders who are meeting here today believe such discussions could go a long way to make journalism much safer. Joy News, Patricia Roxanne Hammond, Accra.
We will urge all to help us make our work easy as the fourth estate of the realm. Do make sure that everything you do is supporting freedom for the media.